Alright guys, well look, it's been all doom and gloom recently. You've got a bunch of, George Floyd happened, Corona has hit, people are dying, the economy's bad. Listen, the list goes on and on, but I'm happy to say that today I am bringing you people positive news, or at least that's how I view it, and I think you guys will agree. So, a new group, a wonderful group which calls out the frauds, to put it, briefly. But essentially, this new group called the American Liberties Project, which was made in November 2019, so very new, frankly, not even a year old. I think they just released their first ever fully fledged ad. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art. But so yeah, this group is very well funded, and they seem quite rather organized, and they support a goal that I certainly agree with. Essentially, they're trying to expose the monopolistic industries and expose the politicians that are doing the bidding of those corporations, and that kind of fishy stuff that I talk about quite often on the show, and the fraudulence of people in DC, and trying to hold those people to account for once, right? Because nothing nobody in the media seems to want to do it, so, or at least in the left mainstream. So listen, guys. Okay, let me just show you. Let's just take a look at this ad.
Congressman Richie Neal has sided with greedy corporations over us. Let's follow the money. Hospital monopolies profit off of our pain by sticking us with surprise medical bills. These monopolies are owned by Wall Street titans like Blackstone. Neal protected Blackstone's profits by killing a bill that would have saved patients money. Now Blackstone is Richie Neal's top contributor and one of Donald Trump's too. Corporate power is corrupting democracy, and Richie Neal is part of the problem. Byte Corporate Monopolies is responsible for the content of this ad.
Beautiful. Guys, just tell me honestly in the comments, have you ever seen a piece of art like this before? Because I think this one really struck a chord with me. This man, right? This man is the fraud of frauds. Don't get it twisted. This guy, Representative Richie Neal from New Hampshire. The amount of fraudulence this guy has been up to recently is pretty incredible. So this guy claims to be a progressive Democrat, right? And so a surprisingly bipartisan bill was made to, help out people with healthcare costs. This bill was going to basically, not significantly, but somewhat reduce the cost of drugs for American people, especially those that are underinsured. So, listen. Guess what happened? I mean, you watched the ad, but he obviously, because Blackstone is his biggest donor, decided, guys, wait. Let's just vote against this. And by the way, he was the deciding vote. So I think we can all applaud this guy for being a fraud. And let's not forget, this guy, his seat is up for grabs. He's already been struggling a little bit in New Hampshire, and a new man who I think is quite interesting, and is certainly not the same kind of fraud corporatist kind of guy that this guy is. His name is Alex Morse. I believe he is a openly gay man, although I'm not 100% sure. He was formerly the fourth-term mayor of Holyoke in New Hampshire, and he's running for Congress against him. And listen, let me just read you what his pinned tweet is. I'm running for Congress in MAO1. We deserve a leader who will put our community first, not the DC status quo. Beautiful news, and I think you guys should have enjoyed that ad, because I think they beautifully, with zero reasonable doubt, explained what happened with this fraud who's in Congress and claims to be progressive, and still decided to vote against this bill that would have significantly reduced drug costs, and I think this will be huge in the future if people in office, Pelosi, the Schumer gang, if they don't only have to worry about, helping out their donors, but they also have to worry now about their constituency, because now they're being held to account which is wonderful because all we needed this entire time was for them to be held to account, because somehow everybody forgets about, and nobody really wants to report on, their fraudulence and how they're never bipartisan except for it's time to help out the military-industrial complex. But now it looks like things are changing for the better, and I love this new organization. They're beautiful to me, and just to further fraudulent, just to further provide evidence for why this man is a fraud. So he's the committee. Sorry, he is the chairman of the welfare committee or something like that. And essentially, they had a hearing for Medicare for All, and one of the rules he set was you cannot use the word Medicare for All. By the way, this guy's biggest donor is Blackstone, the healthcare monopoly, and somehow he decides, as the chairman of a committee that's debating Medicare for All, that no member of the committee can say the word Medicare for All. Now, what the fuck are we even trying? Like, why the fuck are they even attending this? Right? Like, that destroys the whole point. If you can't even say the word, like, this guy's a fraud. Just pure daylight. And I think that ad with, by the way, it has $300,000 worth of funding, which is significant, I'd say, especially in New Hampshire. This is beautiful, and I think it'll be huge for Justice Democrats to have a well-funded 501c group. That 501c, by the way, if you don't know, is just like official political ads. An official 501c group that can publish well-narrated and well-financed ads that expose fully the fraudulence of those at the top. So it's a good day, guys. What can I say? I hope you smile as much as I did when I saw that ad, because tears of joy we're almost on their way. But yeah, guys, I hope, obviously this is not exactly a turning point, but I hope that this can be the beginning of something huge. And yeah, so looks like the good seems to be on its way, and I hope this new group fights, tooth and nail with everything they've got to not be put down by Pelosi and those people in office, and hopefully they don't get fake news and censored like a lot of other people. But fingers crossed, guys.